He just wouldn't let me join in through the app, which is okay. I mean, it's technology; it's not perfect. But so just to jump right in, we've been running these webinars for the last 4 weeks, the Hidden Profits webinar, and it's been pretty interesting to see the response that we've gotten from different people. But just Touré, in your own words, just talk about the Hidden Profits webinar and kind of what it is, what it uncovers.
I think the mainly thing about Hidden Profit Workshop, man, has really been based on making sure people actually are protecting their profit. I mean, look, there's a lot of cool tools out here with AI and all that good stuff, and people probably are subscription happy and don't necessarily know that some of these tools out here could be linked together to actually do outcomes. And so what we teach people in the workshop is not just for it to run a task, but to how to chain these these roles together. So what happens is that they can buy back their time. So, our goal here is to make sure that they can actually work more on their business so they can execute things where they're no longer involved on a day to day. So that's what the work.
Got it. So I think, and I know we did it intentionally, but the hidden profits is it's exactly what it means. And it's not different than my other business, but it's really about the things that are hidden in plain sight. When everybody talks about profits, they think about the hard costs, the overhead, the P&L, the revenue, the this all the things, but what they don't think about is the things that fall through the cracks. And that's kind of where we started along this tech journey, and that's why kind of where we ended is a conglomerate of everything that we've done over the years, and like you said before, just really just tying it all together. So it's misleading, but at the same time, it's really just shining a light on the things that you tend to ignore because they seem like tedious tasks. And one of the things that I want that we talk about that I kind of want you to talk about because you do more of the building and piecing it together. Just talk about I guess we refer to them as just talk about the three ways that AI is being deployed. And then
Yeah,
we'll kind
I'm gonna
of go with
definitely,
that.
I'm gonna definitely touch on that, and I want to make sure that I want to piggyback off what you said. A lot of people look at just the income coming in, income coming out. Mainly, man, we really look at that soft cost that don't show up on the P&Ls,
Hmm.
things that you really can't
Executive
account
tax.
for. Yeah, that's that executive tax. That executive tax that get us that we can't understand how our margins are being pulled because we're stretched so thin. We're building things, we're protecting things. And in the process of it all, we're being the glue of everything. And so who suffers from behind that? Maybe we suffer mentally, physically. Maybe we suffer not being able to show up for our families.
Yeah.
There's quite a few different things that we may necessarily not show up for.
I think before you go on, one of the biggest things, and they don't necessarily see that until, but actually the tools are there on the website for them to calculate and quantify that. But the biggest things is those things that they ignored, those soft costs, that executive tax, how impactful it is once you really quantify the amount of time, because time is currency, the amount of time that's actually falling through the cracks.
Listen, that number is so real, Wayne, on so many occasions. I can tell you right now, a project that we were working on with a specific client, we extrapolated out how much soft cost was impacting their business based off of the interruptions that they were doing, stopping
Hmm.
in the middle of the day, that context switching. It came out to be almost worth an entire salary that
Right.
they were normally paying people. And when you see the numbers, and then the most expensive person in anyone's business is the founder. So when that
Yep.
founder operates into three levels, like it doesn't matter how big a business is, it really doesn't. So if we're looking at the business, them big buildings downtown, or if we're just a mom and pop shop, man, there's the executive side, there is the management side, and then obviously there is the execution technician side. And so when you look at those three gaps, when you take somebody who is valuable as a founder or an owner and you put them in those roles where they're at that management level or they are at that technician level, man, it becomes so super expensive. And that redistributed cost, that's why it feels like they can't afford to hire someone else. That's why it feels like, why do I have money coming in, but I feel like I can't grow? Like, where is it going? And that is that invisible executive tax that you were just speaking of.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's funny that you said that when you really uncover it, it typically ends up being another salary because people are literally, without even analyzing it, they're they've internalized those things that they can't get to, or those things that they would want somebody else to do, and are literally looking to hire somebody else. When if you implement our system and actually implement a business brain, a lot of those things will be taken care of for you, which really just goes to your bottom line. And that need to hire somebody else is negated, and you just operate more efficiently and get to do more of what you love to do, which is why you started the business to begin with.
And that brings me to the point that you asked me earlier. And so, what do we do when we realize that we haven't figured this out yet? It hasn't clicked. So, what we do, we go to these tools, right? So, everywhere, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, somebody's talking about Claude, Gemini, OpenAI, or some
Yeah.
sort. And as a result, I need to get into this AI. You may start feeling like I'm behind. And so, you start doing tools and hey, you just start spitting out questions. And then because it did it faster than you like, man, this is dope. And then realize that 40% of it is probably lies to begin with.
Oh
So
man.
it's so, so that's the first phase. It's like, let me just get my hands for those who are trying to be comfortable with the idea of, look, man, I need to get behind this AI thing before I get left behind. And then those who have actually taken that next step, that second level, these individuals are taking a little bit more automations. What they're doing is maybe have it go out and manage their calendar for them. Maybe when a person comes through or an opportunity comes through, they have some type of hey out back and forth through some automation aspect. And that's cool. And those are great. And they definitely give you
Yeah,
your
that's
time back.
cool. The way you said that's cool.
That's cool. They may give you like they may give you like 5, 10 minutes, man, your day back. And each minute does count. No joke. But the
Yeah.
thing about it is that each person, whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you are on any type of social platform, there are people who are giving you skills. And when you get those things, they're pretty much are helping you solve specific problems and maybe at different departments. And those things work really well. But the difference, the problem is that they don't communicate with each other. So you end up becoming a central part of that API. So you grab what just happened and then you carry it over to the next thing. And now all of a sudden you think you're doing AI. And
Yeah, you
reality
become
of it is it's
integration.
just another thing you're managing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, and then we'll get out of here. And we'll be here on a daily basis, kind of talking through these things as different things come up, because we really want to put it in your hands and have you not be intimidated by it, which is why the third way, and very few people are doing it this way. A lot of people say they are, but when it comes down to the brass task of it, very few people are wrapping it around you to the point where you don't have to learn how to do anything. You can just exist and it truly just enhance what you're already doing. And we'll talk more about what that looks like in the future. But that's the third way, and really what most people are looking for when they say I want to integrate AI into my business. Nobody wants to pick up another job or have to sit in a training class. They just want it to work. And if you're being onboarded somewhere and you're having to learn how to click through the different tools that you've been given, or having to learn how to operate differently, then that's really not the best way to leverage AI. And we want to make sure that we can level the playing field so that you can utilize the things that the big boys are using so that you can continue to grow and scale your business without having to compromise your cash flow, for lack of a better way to put it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
tune in tomorrow. We'll go a little deeper into the conversation. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments, and we'll be sure to address them in our future conversations. Or pull up to our weekly webinar every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and just tap in, and we'll get you indoctrined that way.
Absolutely, man. It was a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Always.